The Avid Anglers Group is a group that got created out of a lunch with Will Floodkey, who's Area Chief, South Coast Stock Assessment, and Dr. Dick Beamish, biological research scientist, and a strong interest in coho and chinook. And over lunch, there were a few of us regular recreational anglers, and we were talking, this was a winter time, and we were talking about the large number of young fish that we were intercepting and carefully releasing. And both Wilf and Dick were very interested in the fact that we were seeing these large numbers of juvenile fish rearing in areas they weren't aware that they were occupying. Could we get a few DNA samples from them, they asked. And we said, well, sure, it'd be quite easy to do, actually. Well, could you keep a logbook? Well, we said maybe. What are you going to use this information for? Well, we really want to use it for science. We want to make sure our management is based on science, but we also want some information that we have no other way of getting. We simply don't have the ship time. We don't have the boats that will go in these areas. You guys are on the water all the time. This is valuable information. So we talked to some friends, and over a fairly widespread area from all of Area 18, all of Area 17, a few people from the Campbell River area started to keep logbooks. We measured the length of every fish that we encountered, including the ones we released. We were given DNA sampling instructions and the little vials and the punch, and we took little punch samples from the tails of these fish when we released them. And we built up a database of about, I would say 400 samples that we now have complete records, the size of the fish, where it was caught, and most importantly, we also know exactly where they came from. Because DFO did the DNA sampling, one of the conditions that we had was if we're going to do all this, we want to know where they came from. And so we now, it's kind of fun, know where the fish that we're catching have come from, and it's been surprising. Surprising for the anglers, surprising for some of the DFO people as well. Now that information was so much of a pleasure for Dick and Wilf. They were really impressed with it. They asked, could we expand the group? Because we need larger sample sizes to provide some valid data to try and make some decisions on. So we put the call out, and we now have at last count close to 40 recreational anglers from the very beginning of Georgia Strait, down near Victoria, up to Campbell River, and people who live on both sides of Georgia Strait who are keeping logbooks and taking DNA sampling. And this information all goes to Wilf and to Dick, which we have asked also be shared with other science people for information on where our Chinook are rearing and where are they holding when we start to harvest them. And we've also, at Dick's insistence, done a fair bit of coho sampling as well. He was really wanting to get that done. So our samples are both coho and Chinook, and they've been very well received. We've quite enjoyed doing it, and the one thing you find out, if you scratch a recreational fisherman, what's going to come up is a huge concern that our harvest is sustainable. And we will go to a lot of effort to make sure that we are contributing to finding out how to make sure they're sustainable and contributing to knowledge that allows them to be sustainable. And everyone taking part's got a good feeling about this one.